Thanks for watching Blitz. I'm Brian Carter, bringing you the first football preview of the 2015 season, and joining me is Habersham Central Raiders first-year head coach, brand new and out of the box, Benji Harrison. Coach Harrison, first and foremost, heard a lot of great things about you, good character and a great coach, and just an honor to be able to sit here and talk Habersham football with you.
Well, I appreciate it. It means a lot for you to come, and it means a lot for our kids and our program. Obviously, it's just around the corner. Our kids are getting excited, community's getting excited, so I'm glad we were able to do this.
It's like the best part of, when you hear school's about to start back, you always think, well, at least there's football. So,
right.
What was it about Habersham that, for our viewers who may or may not know, you came from Jackson County, spent 3 years there as the head coach, actually took them to the playoffs your first year there for the first time in 20 plus years, and of course you used to play high school ball right down the road in Stevens County, but what was it about Habersham when you looked to make that move?
Well, I mean, there's several things. I don't think there was one pinpoint thing that you look to. It was just a situation. I was very familiar with Habersham. I did grow up not too far from here, so that was huge. I just knew a lot about the program. Habersham may have fallen on tough times a little bit lately, but there's a great tradition here.
Yeah.
There's so much excitement in the community. I love the fact, there's one high school here.
Yeah.
And everybody in town wants to know how you're going to do on Friday night.
Yeah.
So that's obviously that was appealing, but I just thought there's been a good tradition here dating back to Coach Black and what he built here. So it just felt right. Obviously the familiarity is closer. It's close to my parents, which was good as well. But just really, it felt right. The people here, great people in the community, great people in the school. Just everybody I talked to, it just felt like this is where I was supposed to be. And I couldn't be, more excited to be here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talk around the community about you being able to step into this program. And as you mentioned, a great history here. Obviously has fallen on tough times. 21-game losing streak that stretched over the span of 2 seasons. But those guys were able to, be able to come out motivated and get that win off their back last year late. What does that do for the confidence of the program for the guys coming in this year?
Obviously, you want to create streaks, but you don't want to create a streak like that. So to break that streak, obviously, is huge for the kids. Football's hard.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of work put into preparing for Friday night. So for those kids to get to experience a win, to see what it was like, that's huge. But I've learned something about kids. They're resilient. They really do have short-term memories, and the fact that they can put those things behind them probably a lot easier than coaches can.
Yeah.
So they're just excited about a new season, new opportunity. Like you said, I love this time of the year. I mean, because there's so much expectation, so many goals that have been set. Everybody starts at the same level going into the season. So for me, this is one of my most exciting times of the year. Just the excitement starts to build, and it's just around the corner.
And you mentioned you brought up goals. I'm sure you have some here in your first year. What are some of those goals, and what are some of the things that you've been able to pinpoint that could help turn this program around? I know you know a thing or two about doing that.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously as a coach, you've got really 2 sets of goals. And what I mean by that is obviously your wins and losses are one goal. I've made no bones about it with the kids. I think we said it the first day I had a parent meeting. Our goal is to find a way to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to get into the playoffs. Obviously we want to go in as high a seed as we can. But we know we've got to continue to work. We know we've got a talented region. But I feel good about this team. I feel good about their work ethic over the summer. So for wins and losses purposes, I mean, we want to win them all.
Yeah.
And find a way for these guys, especially these seniors. I told our seniors the other day, I really believe that your football team's only as good as your seniors. And I'm not necessarily talking about how good of players all your seniors are. I'm talking about just how well they lead, and try to do everything we can to make this a very memorable season for them.
Yeah.
So to send them off in the playoffs, obviously that's our goal. That's our goal. We've worked towards that, and we'll see what happens when the season goes. On another, I guess as a coach, it's twofold. You have the goals of wins and losses, but the other side of that, and just as important to me, is another group of kids that we get the opportunity to hopefully positively influence.
Right.
And I say that with all sincerity. We want our kids to learn what it means to be a person of character.
Yeah.
To see if you work hard that you can accomplish goals. So it's just a twofold thing, and I think in order to be successful, you have to really focus on both of those.
Yeah, now we'll get into your philosophy, your coaching philosophy here in just a moment, but what is it when you step into a program similar to, I'm sure you had to deal with this at Jackson County as well, how are you able to immediately pinpoint the guys that you know are going to be those playmakers for you in the offense that you want to run or defense?
Right. Well, for me, when I got here, it was just getting to know the kids. Mm-hmm. I was able, fortunately, to come in pretty early in February, and I got to get in the weight room with those guys, and you can pretty much tell who your leaders are pretty quick in the weight room because I think your guys that are serious about it, they understand the importance of that, and you can just kind of tell who's the ones that get the others motivated, who holds the other ones accountable. So it doesn't really, it doesn't take long. It really doesn't. You want to get to know the personalities of your kids and your players, but as far as who the guys are that are all about it, it really, they kind of rise to the top pretty soon. As far as pinpointing, what do you do to turn this program around, I don't think there's a magic formula. Yeah. I really don't think there's a magic formula. I believe the formula is you have to be very details. You got to pay close attention to the small things, because I think if you don't focus on small things, they become big things, and before long, you're not real good at anything.
Right.
So I think just really holding them accountable, holding the kids accountable, being very clear with your expectations. And knowing that these are the expectations that we're not going to vary from, And so we've tried to do that. I think our kids completely understand as coaches where we're coming from, our expectations from them, and we talk about it every day. Everything we do, we want to do it great. We don't want to, I said it, I think, yesterday after weight training, when we start, and I said, I'm glad you're here this morning, but just showing up doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. It's what you do when you get here. So I think it's just that, and being enthusiastic. Yeah. Letting those kids see that you believe in them. Mm-hmm. It does take time for them to trust you, and it's been a great summer as far as I think our kids are really bonding together. They're starting to know our personalities as coaches. We as coaches are starting to really learn. I think you hold all kids to the same standard, but I think you have to coach kids differently. Mm-hmm. I mean, different kids, different things push their buttons. So it's I think it's just getting those things in line, but really I think it goes back to being attention to detail and working hard and smart. Everything we try to do has a purpose. We never try to do a drill just to do a drill. It somehow has to tie back into something we're trying to accomplish on the field. So I don't know if I answered your question as far as there's not a magic formula. I think it's from top to bottom, covering all the details, and the big thing is setting the standard by how we're going to do everything, and then holding to it.
And now, when I heard you were coming in, of course, right away, a lot of people in the community are like, "All right, this is a quarterback-minded coach." Right. You were an offensive coordinator for a while, and of course, playing. You got to help coach Connor Shaw, who ends up in the NFL. Right. So people know like you're bringing the spread to this offense, which is something we haven't seen really since Bo Hatchett and Tavares King, and that was really exciting to watch. So what's your plan on implementing that offense this year and balancing that with a talented guy like you have, Michael Babers, in the backfield, all-region player that can really pound the ball also?
Right. Well, a lot of people ask you that when they say, you're a spread guy. I say, well, what do you think that means? For me, what it means is truly that. It's a spread. We want to try to force defenses to cover the entire field. It doesn't mean that you throw it 70 times a game. Right. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be a physical football team. I believe firmly that you win football games being able to run the football and controlling the line of scrimmage. So, and fortunately, we have a really good running back and an experienced group of offensive linemen who've got great size and a good group. So, for me, the spread is just really having the ability to do, really whatever the defense is trying to stop, we can do something else. Yeah. Obviously we'll throw the football. It's a fun brand for the fans. The kids love it. They like practice. The biggest thing to me, other than I believe in the offense and the advantages it creates on Fridays, is practice is so much more fun. Yeah. The kids like it. We don't have to line up and run a whole lot of sprints because we've been doing sprints the whole practice. We don't huddle. Everything's fast paced. But we've got some players that fit in nicely to what we're trying to do.
Now, unfortunately, I'm sure you had a chance to meet Bennett Black, who graduated last year, but he was the quarterback for this team a year ago and really did a phenomenal job with what he had to deal with and could throw the ball when he had to, make some good throws. Good kid. but unfortunately you're not in that position to be able to get a seasoned veteran there behind center. But I know, again, you've coached Connor Shaw, you've had to coach guys along the way, you've had a lot of coaching experience with quarterbacks. Can you throw out a name for us on who we can expect at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Right now, I mean, it's Cole Wilbanks.
Okay.
He's had a great spring practice. He's had a great summer. He continues to get better every day. Cole's one of those kids I can tell that to you, because there's no secrets.
Yeah.
You don't have to motivate him with looking over his shoulder. Obviously we've got some more quarterbacks behind him that are going to get a lot of reps. But Cole's just he's gotten better every day. Our job as coaches is all those quarterbacks that I've coached over the years. It seemed like each one of them had their thing they were really good at.
Yeah.
So as a coach, our job is to find out their weaknesses, find out their strengths. Obviously, we try to work on their weaknesses, but really what we try to do is find out what they like, what they're good at, and and hone everything around that.
Right. Talk to me about from a coaching standpoint, and even from a player's standpoint. If I'm a senior playing for you, you're the third coach I've had in 4 years. And I know that's got to be an obstacle when you walk in the door that you have to overcome, is how do you get some of those guys to buy in to a new philosophy?
Right, and that is a process, and that's hard for kids. Again, I go back, I think, really Habersham football, the Habersham football program is so much, and I tell you, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than the players now. Habersham football's been here a long time, it'll continue to be here a long time. But obviously, it's tough on kids, but they're resilient. The same thing with those kids is my first thing that I put before anything in coaching, before we start talking schemes or any of that stuff. I firmly believe that you have to start developing relationships with those kids and let them see you and be genuinely who you are. So the big thing is I think I'm honest to them. They get to know me. I'm very, I don't try to hide anything from them. So just getting to build those relationships, I really love that. There's such a, coaching, obviously you got to coach them hard, but they can't see you just as that guy that's just always telling them what to do on the field.
Right.
They have to see you as a person that cares about them.
Yeah.
And kids are smart. Either they know you're for real when you're telling them that, or they know you're faking it.
Yeah.
So it's really been good just developing relationships with kids. It's happened really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids know I care about them, and I'm going to do everything I can for them and to give them the best experience they can have in high school.
Now, we throw your rap sheet right here on the screen, but you played at Stevens County, played at Presbyterian, and stop me if I'm wrong anywhere, but then you Elbert County, Franklin County, Flowery Branch, and then Jackson County, and now here. But Flowery Branch, especially from 2008 to 2011, you got a chance to get to the state title game, state semifinals, some big games there, and that was a special program that you were a part of. Do you see anything that you're able to utilize from that experience that you carry into here at Habersham Central?
There's no doubt. I learned a lot, during my time at Flowery Branch. Obviously. And a lot of it was X's and O's, but a lot of it wasn't. Just seeing what it looked like to be at a program where everybody was bought in. And I'm not talking about just your players. I'm talking about from your student body.
Oh yeah.
Just the excitement that was created. Doing little things to create that excitement to make it a very, very big deal. Just a great time, and obviously we got to play in some big games.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a lot of fun, and you take those experiences and you remember them, and hopefully you draw from them as you get into those situations, hopefully here.
Yeah. And speaking of which, you got to coach under and alongside Coach Lee Shaw, a great guy right down the road here at Raven County, fantastic coach, and I'm sure you guys have a great relationship, and as you said, you were able to work alongside him and learn a lot as well in that process. But that's got to be, what's that like? I know last year at Jackson County, you got to play at Raven County there in Tiger, and you held them pretty close. I think it was 34-21 the final. What's that like facing him? And I know you got him on the calendar this year in week 1 as well.
Yeah, it's good. Me and Coach Shaw are really close. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Shaw. We have a great relationship. We talk very regularly. He's always been real good to me. Always been very open with me and helped me in so many ways. So I think a lot of Coach Shaw. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun to get to play him. It would be good to beat him.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure he's saying it's not going to be good to let him beat me.
Yeah.
So, but I tell the kids, that's kind of a side story. It's fun for me personally. I don't make a big deal out of it. Nobody's there going to be at that game to watch me and Coach Shaw coach.
Right,
They're
right.
going to be there to watch those kids play, and we'll shake hands and talk a good bit before the game, and hopefully it'll be a fun night. But it'll be a lot more fun if we come out on top.
I'm sure, yeah, and as you say, it's great for the community too. A good rivalry that you've kind of reestablished over the last couple of years. But well, Coach, really appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing your team push back into the state playoffs this year. It's a real exciting time to be a Habersham Central Raider.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said, there's something special about this place. There really is. I mean, the community here and my time here. I got here in February. It's just been really unique. You don't have this in a lot of places. Mm-hmm. You still got the small town feel that everybody cares about what's going on in that stadium on Friday night. And I was out here with our young kids. When I say young kids, our rec kids right here doing some speed work the other day, and I told them they're going to blink and they're going to be ones walking down the hill. And there's just something special about a Friday night anywhere, but I think there's really something special that's been built here. And we hope to get it back to where it was and hopefully take it to the next level.
Oh yeah, make sure you wear your orange and blue. Come out to John Larry Black Field. Posting the schedule for you right here. You can also check it out online on BLITZ. But Coach, again, appreciate your time. Looking forward to what you do this year.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coach.
The most versatile cooking device ever. Is it a grill, an oven, or a smoker? Yes, it's the Big Green Egg, and you can get yours now at Bob and Ted's Trophy in Clarksville, an authorized gold certified dealer. The Big Green Egg stands alone as the most versatile barbecue or outdoor cooking product on the market, with more capabilities than all other conventional cookers combined. From appetizers to entrees to desserts, the Big Green Egg will exceed all of your expectations for culinary perfection. Bob and Ted's offers 6 convenient sizes to choose from, and all the egg accessories you'll ever need. Whether novice or expert, come see why the Big Green Egg is the only outdoor cooker you will ever need.